Hello and welcome to the Amber Wave Show, Season 2, Episode 19. No James today, just because of how our schedules have worked. Today we look back at the two games that we've played over the last week, where firstly we played against Great Wakering in the FA Vars second round proper, and back in league action where we played Harleston Town in the Thurlow Nunn Premier. So on Saturday, Great Yarmouth made the trip all the way to South Essex to face Great Wakering Rovers, who last season in the FA Vars were actually the finalists. The match started with both teams working each other out, a few shots from each team, nothing over the top and nothing clear cut until the 7th minute, where Barber found Duffy with a beautiful through ball. Duffy then tried to lob the keeper, went a couple inches wide, and we were probably unlucky to not go 1-0 up. But on the 12th minute, a Belmar corner was flicked on at the near post by Cousins. The Rovers keeper failed to clear it. Loose ball fell to Adams, who rocketed his shot into the net to make it 1-0.
Belmar with the corner and tries to play. Oh, it's been saved.
Great Wakering then did find a fair bit of momentum, seemingly spurred on by going 1-0 down. They came close with a fair few snap shots at goal that were going narrowly wide. 2 minutes after those few snapshots, they did have a corner that was swung in and a brilliant header from Great Wakering that went narrowly wide. On the 37th minute, Barber for Yarmouth turned over possession in the centre of the pitch, and he sent the through ball onto Cousins, who then found Duffy, and his shot again narrowly, it missed the target. Just before half time though, there was a Wakering player that cut inside brilliantly from the byline onto the left and looked like he was going to score, but it was denied by Brandon Ling putting out an absolutely brilliant save. The half-time result was Great Wakering 0, Great Yarmouth Town 1. The second half and the early chances fell to Yarmouth, and on the 48th minute, a Deeks free kick was met by Fenn, whose volley did unfortunately go over the bar. 2 minutes later, a free kick from the Rovers captain forced another brilliant save from Brandon Ling. He turned the ball out from a corner, and from the resulting corner, unfortunately, the ball was flicked on by a couple of the Great Wakering players, and this time they made absolutely no mistake and headed the ball home to make it 1-1.
And corner put in for Great Wakering. Rovers in the back post and they've scored. Oh my!
Then the momentum shift back to Yarmouth. It seemed that each time a team scored, the other team would then find momentum to push forward. And on the 55th minute, a run by Barber down the left-hand side ended with him trying his luck with an effort that was going narrowly wide. Then a little while later, Great Wakering had a great chance, and somehow from 12 yards out, glaring miss, they smashed their shot over the bar. On the 78th minute, Great Yarmouth had a corner that was only partially punched away by the keeper for Great Wakering, and the ball was sent back into the box, where the keeper misjudged the ball. From what it looked like for us, there was the keeper. There was two players in front of the keeper, Great Wakering players. The keeper shouted for the ball. He shouted keepers. It looked like the defender went to head it, but then decided not to after hearing the call. And what I think happened is the keeper probably thought that the defender was going to head it. It bounced in front of the keeper. The keeper then tried to catch it, couldn't catch it well, sort of spilled it. And then Barber clinically took full advantage and tapped it home to make it 2-1 to Great Yarmouth.
And into the front, only punched away there by Yarmouth, by the Wakering Rovers. Oh, it's been fumbled! Oh, get in there! Get in there! Yes! Get in there! Come on!
the 88th minute, though, unfortunately, Great Wakering Rovers found themselves with another corner. This corner, again, wasn't cleared, and the Great Wakering player, with a brilliant volley, smashed it home for the home side to make it 2-2.
Corner being crossed in into the back post, very wide indeed. Try for the shot. Oh no, it's gone in. Oh my God.
2-2.
It's 2-2.
And we did look cagey going into stoppage time, where they had a fair few shots, and I think we were quite, not lucky, but not unlucky, if you know what I mean, to keep it 2-2. We were under a lot of pressure, and Great Wakering players probably will be practicing shooting on their next training session. But it finished 2-2, Great Wakering 2, Great Yarmouth 2, and because it's the FA Vars, it went straight to penalties. And this is what happened in the penalty shootout.
The first shot, and it goes in on the left. And there will be Ollie Bates for Yarmouth, but their first penalty goes in bottom left and shushes the fans. And now it will be Great Wakering's second penalty. Just gone dead silent here. And it goes in bottom left again. And Connor Deeks with the penalty. Oh, good penalty in the top right corner. Oh, gosh. I can't take this any longer. And it's now Great Wakering Rovers' third. Oh, goes over! Get in there! Come on! Halliday now with Yarmouth's third. Advantage Yarmouth! Get in there! And Halliday shushes the crowd, and the crowd aren't liking it.
Come on, Halliday.
And it is advantage Yarmouth. And Great Wakering's fourth penalty goes into the left. We're still going on. Louis Duffield now for Yarmouth's fourth. This is going to be a massive penalty for them. Yes, goes in, and Yarmouth needs one more. Yarmouth just needs a save or to score one more, and Duffield's loving it at the moment. Oh my God, here we go. Well, Brandon needs to save this, or for it to go over or miss, for it to be Yarmouth going to the third round. Oh, please, please. Yeah! Get in there! Get in there! Yes! What? Get in there! Yarmouth are going to the third round! They did it last season, run it up! Let's go celebrate!
Yeah, so Great Yarmouth through on penalties after 5 perfect penalties scored, and for Great Wakering, 1 penalty saved by Brandon Ling, and 1 penalty smashed so far over the crossbar it just missed the NASA satellite. So brilliant win, and the draw has been made for the next round of the cup, and which will be the third round proper, which I believe is played on the 7th of December. And that has been drawn as Great Yarmouth Town away to London Lions. Now on to the game last couple of days ago, where we played Harleston in the cup. So Harleston kicked off the game, and they're obviously fairly low, I believe, in the league. And if we win our games in hand, we would be looking quite good in the playoffs. Harleston kicked off the game in a weird a weird bluey, greeny, turquoisey, cyan colour, which looked quite nice, but was a weird colour to see. The opening exchanges, Yarmouth looked the better of the two sides, in all honesty. The best chance of the early exchanges was a brilliant through ball that was played to Duffy, and Duffy wasn't able to get it past the keeper, and it was a good save. Not too long later, though, Harleston did have a good attack that a strong low smash shot was wide of the post. And again, not long after that, Yarmouth went up on the other end, and a brilliant header from Jesse Fenn after a cross again went narrowly wide. So it was quite an open game so far between the two sides. Unfortunately, then midway through the first half, Harleston had a brilliant attack where a player cut from the right hand side, passed the ball into the middle. They lashed a shot. Brandon Ling was about 15 yards out of his goal, trying to close the ball down. It got past Brandon Ling. Sammy Adams was there on the line, I believe. I believe it was Sammy Adams. Managed to hit it away, get his body in the way, bounced away, and it just happened to fall to a Harleston player who managed to then smash it in the far right-hand side of the goal to make it Great Yarmouth Town 0, Harleston Town 1.
And Harleston now into the box now. Just passing it on to the edge now, and this is a good chance here. Blocked off the line by Sam Adams. Rebounding.
Going into half-time, it looked like we could be going 1-0 down. However, Jesse Fenn managed to get onto the top of a through ball and managed to get the shot away. The keeper saved it, but he wasn't able to hold onto it. And then Jesse Fenn managed to smash it into the back of the net to make it Great Yarmouth Town 1, Harleston Town 1.
And Jesse Fenn with a go through ball in there. It's to be saved, and Jesse Fenn scored!
Yarmouth did have chances to take the lead heading into half-time, but unfortunately were unable to take any of them. So the half-time score was Great Yarmouth Town 1, Harleston Town 1. It was a bit different to the game on Saturday. I think the Wakering players were bigger, tougher, more physical, and had a completely different game plan to Harleston. Like we do see a fair bit when we travel to places like Great Wakering, where their game plan is to try and intimidate the referee, leave foots into tackles and stuff. Harleston weren't really doing that, and it was quite a different game to the one on Saturday. So I think it was taking time to get used to this different way this other team is playing. We're obviously playing our own game, but we also need to acknowledge the other team's game as well, and I feel that it was a fairly different game. Second half started, and Great Yarmouth did look the better of the two sides in the second half, but were unable to find that goal. The opening goal of the second half came from the right-hand side for Harleston, who was able to cross it into the box. The initial striker managed to hit it towards goal. Brandon Ling made a decent save, was unable to hold onto the ball though, unfortunately, and again it unfortunately fell to a Harleston player to smash it into the net to make it 2-1 to Harleston.
And Harleston now on the attack, push it into middle area, and it's been saved, but it's rebounded in. And
both teams then had chances to either equalise or strengthen their lead, depending on which side you were viewing it from. Unfortunately, for a Great Yarmouth point of view and our point of view, the fourth goal of the game and second goal of the second half and third goal for Harleston was scored as the ball was punted into the box, and a well-placed header found it headed far across goal into the far right-hand corner, and it was Harleston 3, Great Yarmouth Town 1.
And it's been put in for Harleston, and Harleston have made it 3.
For the rest of the game, it was mostly Great Yarmouth possession, Great Yarmouth attacking, with a few Harleston attacks in there. Unfortunately, throughout all of the Yarmouth attacks, we were unable to find a second or third goal, which then sent us to our fourth defeat in the league so far this season. Full-time result was Great Yarmouth Town 1, Harleston Town 3. Overall, it wasn't the best of matches. It wasn't the most clinical of matches, but we're going to lose games, we're going to win games, we're going to draw games, and we're going to lose games. That's part of football. So nothing really much to say about that other than on to the next one, really, and let's try and get a result as we go to Ely on Saturday. Now, looking on to Saturday, when we play Ely away from home, Great Yarmouth are currently sitting 9th in the league with 14 games played, with 8 wins, 2 draws and 4 losses, a positive 10 goal difference, and sitting on 26 points. It's a little bit of a false reading of the table at the moment. The majority, every team above us has played more games than us. Barton have played 2 games more than us. They sit in 8th. Downham sit in 5th with 1 game played more than us, and then the rest, and Thetford with 1 game more than us. The rest have either played 3 games more than us, or actually Ely, who have played 5 games more than us. Great Yarmouth in the last 5 games have won 4 and draw. So we've won 4 and lost 1. But 2 of those wins have been penalty shootouts against Long Stratton and against Great Wakering Rovers. So if we're looking at 90 minutes of a football match, we've won 2, drawn 2 and lost 1, if you want to look at it like that. But the actual result of the game has been Yarmouth winning 4 of them and losing 1 of them. Those wins being a 1-0 win against Soham, a 6-1 win against Heacham, the 4-1 win on a penalty shootout against Long Stratton, the 4-3 penalty shootout win against Great against Great Wakering. These greats, they're getting confusing. And unfortunately, the last result of the 3-1 win to Harleston. Ely, however, are sitting top of the league. They have played 19, so they have played the joint most games in the league. They are top. They have played 11 games so far. They've played 19 games so far. They've had 11 wins, 3 draws and 5 losses. So they have actually dropped more points than Yarmouth, but are sitting top of the league. But that's because of the games played. They have a positive 14 goal difference, so 4 more than Yarmouth, and 36 points, 10 more than Yarmouth. So games in hand, we could be above Ely, depending on obviously the results. And with the form of the team and how the team's getting on, I would probably wager and bet that Great Yarmouth would be above Ely on if we've played the same amount of games. However, their recent form is very similar to Yarmouth's if you go over the 90-minute mark rather than the full-time result, where they have won 2, drawn 2 and lost 1. Those games being a 4-3 loss to Fakenham after being 2-1 up at half-time. They beat Kirkley and Pakefield 2-0. They drew to Woodbridge 1-1. They beat Hadley 2-1. And they drew to Heacham 0-0. So losing to Fakenham. Fakenham are a good team. They're in abouts. So obviously you would understand the loss there. Ely isn't going to be an easy game. No games are easy, but we play like we did against Great Wakering, we should win. We play like we did against Thetford, we should win. But football is played on the day, and who knows what the result's going to be. Other than that, we have no game midweek next week. And that's all that there is for this episode. So I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next episode. Up the bloaters.